Denise Tshisekedi, First Lady of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Vice President of OAFLAD, and our host, fellow First Ladies and former First Ladies of Africa, sponsors and partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am honored to be here to deliver the closing remarks during this 20th anniversary celebration. Before I proceed, receive greetings from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and the people of Kenya. This occasion is special to me as one of the newest members of OAFLAD, following the inauguration of our President on 13th September 2022. I feel honored to be part of this great organization with its rich history of impact, especially in the area of health and especially in tackling HIV/AIDS. Together, we have an obligation to achieve the vision of our predecessors and continue building onto their achievements for posterity. My sisters, ladies and gentlemen, the old image of Africa with an emaciated woman breastfeeding her malnourished baby with another equally malnourished infant strapped to her back is long gone. The new portrait is that of a strong African continent with a resilient people who are empowered, dignified, and proud of their culture and heritage. The big question remains, how is the reality on the ground? Ladies and gentlemen, in order to answer this question, we need to refer to the theme of this conference, which is 20 years at the service of Africa's most vulnerable. My sisters have demonstrated through their presentations the role they are playing to address the issues that affect the most vulnerable in their countries. My sisters have also confirmed their commitment to empowering women and children who are the most vulnerable. Their interventions are aligned to the OAFLAD strategy and are centered around the themes of provision of holistic health with a special emphasis on HIV/AIDS, quality education for our children, women economic empowerment, and poverty reduction. Peace and security is also a key thematic area that is being addressed by some of my sisters. This includes achieving peace at the home by dealing with the issue of gender-based violence and at a national level, giving prominence to the place and role of women in establishing and promoting peace. We appreciate the kind gesture by President Felix Tshisekedi this morning, where he had a moment to silence in honor of the many women and girls affected by war for the last 30 years. Let us become champions of peace in our nations and beyond, because war in a neighboring country affects your country. And when that happens, women and children are the most affected. Today we celebrate OAFLAD, an organization that has achieved so much in the last 20 years. OAFLAD has successfully established a permanent secretariat, launched the Free to Shine campaign, built global partnerships, and changed its name from OAFLA to OAFLAD so as to focus on development. Please join me in giving OAFLAD and my fellow sisters who form this great organization an applause. Thank you. My sisters, ladies and gentlemen, as we look into the future, let us remember that Africa is the current point of interest for the whole world. Any global organization that seeks relevance going forward must be in Africa or have Africa in mind. Brookings Institute, through the Economist Intelligence Unit, forecasts an average GDP growth of 3.2% in the continent, with medium-sized economies in sub-Saharan Africa driving this growth. Africa has the youngest population in the world, with more than 400 million aged between 15 and 35 years. Our youth are our greatest asset. We must find ways to engage them and create environments that will enable innovation, creativity, and the ability to earn a decent and honest living. My dear sisters, by using our convening power and platforms to empower our women and children, we will empower the whole continent, because what feeds the mother also feeds the child. Let us build a continent that is borderless, one that creates opportunities for itself through trade, infrastructure, travel, jobs, and much more, in support of similar initiatives that are being championed by our African presidents. We have the markets, minds, and manpower that are able to garner and compound great progress, moving us into a prosperous future. We have the resources that can sustain us. The First Ladies of Africa can be the glue that will hold our continent together. Dear sisters, ladies, and gentlemen, the unifying campaign we have launched today, OAFLAD, is poised to bring a new level of influence and change on our continent. The 6 focus areas: women empowerment, education, gender-based violence, breast and cervical cancer, HIV and AIDS, and reproductive, maternal and child health, are critical as we plan for our continent's future. I urge all First Ladies and stakeholders here to incorporate these key areas in our plans. My sisters, ladies, and gentlemen, we must appreciate the partners who stood with us through the 20 years. We appreciate the following organizations for supporting OAFLAD and my sisters in actualizing their program: African Union, UNAIDS, World Health Organization, United Nations Population Fund, UNESCO, AMREF, ABOT, and AGAPAF, ECOWAS, and Qatar Foundation. We further appreciate the many sponsors who have made this celebration successful. Thank you very much. To partners who I have not mentioned by name, please receive our gratitude. Allow me to thank our host, Mrs. Denise Chisekedi, for a wonderful reception and conference that has showcased the impact the First Ladies are creating on the continent. Thank you, my sister. Thank you to all the First Ladies present for making time to be here. Through your presence and participation, the conference and the rest of the event's objectives will be achieved. As our president, Mrs. Monica Kengo, said, this is the most attended OAFLAD event by First Ladies. Well done, ladies, and let's keep this up going forward. My sisters, ladies, and gentlemen, as we return to our countries at the end of the celebrations tomorrow, we shall leave this beautiful and well-endowed country empowered, united, and speaking in one voice. Happy 20th anniversary OAFLAD. It is now my singular honor to officially close today's session. Thank you, and may the good Lord bless you, and may the Lord bless OAFLAD. Thank you very much.